So this is just going to be a quick video talking about Shrouds, who are the meta agents on Bree's video. He states in this video that he believes Sentinels aren't useful at all on the map, and that they really serve no purpose, and that controllers actually have more use. And while I do agree controllers are very strong, I do believe that Sentinels are in fact just as important on the map on Breeze as well. Let's just see what he has to say here. Obviously, I'm not attacking him. I take his opinion very highly. That's why I was curious, because I beg to differ in this scenario, and I feel like Sentinels are actually really strong on Breeze. But let's just listen to what he has to say.
Replace this guy with Cypher or Killjoy. Or Cypher and Killjoy is useless on that map. It's not just like a little useless. We're talking like literally. Killjoy and Cypher are useless on that map. See the size of that fucking map? Fucking huge. You can't Cypher anything to successfully watch a flank. The only way you watch a flank is with a body. And that's how that map's going to be played.
So in the video, Shroud obviously talks about that the Sentinels are completely useless, and that a Cypher trip or Cypher anything wouldn't be able to successfully watch flank, and that having a body would be rather would be better, in fact. And while I can understand his reasoning that a tripwire or a turret will only do so much, I rather feel that having util to watch a flank rather than potentially losing a member to help retake or prevent a defuse is more important. And that's not just defuse, right? Let's say, for example, I am attacking and I want to push on the B side. Now, there's multiple ways I could do this. Let's do through mid first, right? This is my usual go-to cam, right? I'd put it here, and as soon as the round starts, people walk out of nest, and I'd be able to see people walk out of nest. I'd be able to see people walk out of tunnel. And as teammates are pushing up, I'm giving info. My friend usually plays Killjoy in this map. They put a turret up here, and they'd be able to watch through mid, watch nest, see anyone peeking out, right? And maybe even tunnel. Now, obviously, say we push up, we're able to take tunnel, right? And I could tripwire this if they're flanking from elbow, right? And I go ahead throw a Cypher cage, I close that off, or someone smokes that off, and we go ahead to hard push B. Now we're in B site, right? Assuming this is how we've taken B site, or how we push it, and we have maybe 1 or 2 A main. I can go ahead, right? We wall, like we smoke the side off, right? Or we do something. I can throw a Cypher cage here, right? I'll go ahead and put a trip here, right? And I'll put a trip here, and I'll leave that. You can't crouch this. You're either forced to shoot it because it blocks them from going onto the boxes, right? And there's nothing you can do about it, and it's crouch height, so you can't go under it. You unless you're a jet that's updrafting, we're going to be able to hear their updraft. You're not getting past that wire, right? If I am coming here, right? Say I push through A main, I can tripwire here, right? Now, normally, most people wouldn't see a use in this tripwire. But say I'm holding over here, right? We got someone window, we've got one B main, and we've got someone holding B back on this corner over here. And they're not peeking tunnel. We're holding it. We're just gonna wait for people to push. If I have a tripwire here, breaking this allows. I'll put it like. I'll be generous. I'll even put it over here. Breaking this allows us to have info that either people are pushed up really close, because if they see, they're not going to know that wire is there. If they're already pushed up here, they're already around this area, they're probably being shot at main, or they're going to have to cross over, and we'll be able to, the person holding B back will be able to look over, and they'll be able to take that. And there's not much they can really do about it. Now, say if I the Cypher, am playing B window, right? Obviously, a tripwire here would be good, right? But the main worry is that, oh, I'm gonna get flanked while I'm holding B window, and I'm going to die, right? Obviously, that's a worry. I could be overkill and put 2 tripwires here, 1 tripwire here, 1 tripwire here, right? And that would successfully let me know, oh shit, someone's on my flank. I pay attention. I go ahead and stop looking, and I go ahead and peek that, get the frag, and if I don't frag, I don't frag. Like, this is the problem, right? Even if you have someone watching your flank, right, you're still having a body, but having util, just that slight util in preparation in advance helps that much more. And if I don't want to put that one, if I don't want to use both my tripwires, say if I already use one, I go ahead tripwire this instead, And if I hold anywhere right here, I'm not gonna want to peek bomb. There's no reason for me to peek bomb, right? Like, there's no reason for me to peek bomb because I'm playing for bomb, right? So I could sit here. Obviously, this is wall bang. Is that wall bangable? And actually, that is wall bangable. This side is wall bangable. But I could sit here and just hold this and be perfectly fine and peek. I could have my camera set up like above here or somewhere over there, and I just wait. People come. If people don't peek, if people don't go through mid window, right? If say they completely ignore snake and they just go ignore snake and ignore window, they just go pat from elbow or from cannon into B main. Obviously their back is facing towards me because they're not paying. They don't think I'm there, right? If they do peek it, I don't have to peek it. I could just pull back. I could play around here. There's no physical way for them to get up here unless they're an Ash or a Raze, right? And I could just play here. That covers my flanks, right? That is my reasonable flank. Now let's say if I'm pushing through snake, I'm pushing through cannon, right? Pushing through cannon, right? Obviously, teammate's gonna be B main. I'm just gonna peek it. Wire, right? That's already one base covered. I don't have to worry about anyone going through B main and flanking me, right? And then let me go ahead and grab my camera again, right? Go ahead and grab my camera. Say I'm right here. I pushed up here, right? I don't think there's an enemy close. If I think there's an enemy close, I'll go ahead and cage it off. I'll cage it off just to be safe, right? Jump, cam. Suddenly, guess what? I pushed up. My teammates have already pushed through mid, right? They're already around here. I have cam into cam into wood doors, so I could see if anyone's like walking to wood doors. I could see if I put that actually a little further. If I put that a little further, I can see into nest. So this is the optimal spot. I can see people walking around mid top. I can see people walking around this corner, right? I won't be able to see anyone behind the wall, but I'll be able to get all of this here. That is just great info, right? Guess what? I pull through here, and I'll do the same thing. I'll do my same routine through tunnel. And guess what? That's B-side taken. There's not much to worry about. B-side is really strong, in my opinion, for taking for Cypher. Now let's talk about A-side. Right? A-side, you're probably not going to be pushing a Cypher, right? You're probably going to have a Jet. You're probably going to have a Reyna. Or not. Reyna was good. Reyna is always decent on the maps, but Jet's stronger, right? So you have a Jet peek, get a frag, get out of the way. Now that you have a pick, you can push, right? You're not gonna be the only util. You're gonna have controllers, right? Like Shroud said, controllers are really strong on this map. But I also feel like Sentinels add that bit of more integrity and strength that controllers need, right? Say Viper's here, and they have a wall right here, a wall right there, something like that, right? I push in, right? I could have a cam right here. That needs to be higher. I could have a cam right here, right? Because say played for default, I'll be holding here, right? I'll be holding cave, or I'll be holding, what is this? Shop, right? I'll be holding shop. Oh wow, there's a shop. I could just go ahead, put a wire here, right? I know people pushing up. I could peek it, right? I could have a cage right here, delay them with the cage, right? Say people are pushing cave. I would put a wire right here. That will delay them. I know people are pushing cave. I don't want them peeking it, right? I could also have just the wire be right here. Right? They can't get up here. They can't get up here. Yeah, they get hit by either way. The only way you could get up here is if you're a Jet and you updraft them. We'd be able to hear the updraft. We 180, fire them, right? Obviously, we're going to be holding about here. We're not going to be wanting to peek it, right? And saying there's a Viper. Obviously, Viper's super strong. Viper would be back here having lineups. Okay, so Viper's over here doing her lineups, or average Jonas is in the corner over here doing his double arrow lineup, right? There's only one way that they can come from CT. Do this right here, right? Maybe even farther back, just to be... Oh, actually, no, right here I think is fine then. Right here is fine, right? That wire is fine. This wire will cover here. I think usually this is a Viper spine up, but if you have a Silva is probably safe. Silva's going to be safer. Viper will be here. It'll be risky, right? But that's always the risk with the lineups, right? It's that someone's going to be flanking. So that wire will help there. And then for Hall, right? Just this tripwire is fine. This tripwire is fine. No one's gonna be up here in Hall. No one's gonna be peeking. There's no reason for people to peek right? If we're defending, we've already planted, right? Now let's assume that we're going to go through hall, right? Say we push through hall, we get a frag, boom, boom, whatever, right? We push through. Say we have hall, right? People are they're gonna be pushing through CT, right? They're gonna be pushing through here, right? They might even be pushing through T side here, right? Well, first off, I would put a wire right here, right? Put a wire right here, and I would just never peek that because guess what? I'm sitting here, I'm playing for here, I'm playing for this door, I'm playing for mid door, right? I'm playing for mid door, right? Say I'm a little anxious and I don't want people coming through mid door. I just jump down here, put this wire right here, right? And if I'm already on switch, right, and I know that people aren't fast, they're not fast enough to already get to, if they're not already fast enough to get to CT in time, I could just jump down here. No, actually, I would put a cam. I'd peek out here real quick. And say we planted for here, right? Maybe we planted for even here. I just say we planted for CT side pyramid, right? I would have full view over it, right? And even if you don't feel like that cam works, right? Fuck this cam, right? But they're obviously going to be shut out by cave, so I wouldn't want to do that. That's like, if it's good if you know they're not pushing cave. Right? I could put a cam here. This will give control full view. I'd be able to see him pushing out of mid doors. I'd be able to see him pushing from what is this, ropes, bridge, right? And that's safe, right? And then the last way to push A side, right? I come up here, right? Blah blah blah. Same routine through mid. Same thing as B, except I go ahead throw cage here, right? This is wall bangable. Wall bang this corner. You know, check for enemies, and then I go through here. I put this wire here too, right? Put the same wire here. Right, and I'd go ahead and do the exact same cam. We're probably going to be planning for default at that rate, but pushing through mid, super simple. You want to watch the flank here? You want to watch the flank? I might put a tripwire here, right? That could cover that. And if you really wanted to, just put a tripwire here. Tripwire here is fine, right? But honestly, if they're pushing here at that rate, you're probably going to be like, you don't want to hold mid doors in general. Mid doors is just bad. You have too many angles. You got behind, you got CT, and you got T side to worry about, right? Even switch to worry about. So you wouldn't be holding, right? You would take control through mid, take control switch, right? Jump up on these boxes, right? Take all that, put the cam back up there, right? And I'd play for switch again. I'd play for switch. Or in fact, right, if we're playing for switch, I don't want enemies coming up to rope and stopping me. So I could just do this wire right here. It'll grab them, right? It'll grab them on the wire. If I think they're gonna, or even here. Here's a safer bit, right? That's fine. They're gonna get stuck on the wire, and I'll just be able to, and I'll have information, and I'll go ahead and get ready, right? I think this map is super strong for Sentinels, and that's the thing. He said he was. That's the thing that bothered me was that Shroud didn't say that they were, right, just weak or they wasn't as good as controllers. He said that they were completely useless, right? Controllers are really good on this map, right? For Viper walls, for smokes, for everything. But on defense side is where they really shine, right? Especially one-ways, especially wires, right? Right? Put here. You want to put a wire right here. Right about here. Right? Right about here is fine. Because guess what? Enemies push up, and where's my cam? Do I have a cam set up? No, thank God. Right, I'll be setting up. Say this is for a Cypher, right? I'll stand on this box. Get that there, boom, covered. And then I'll run over here. Go ahead, just throw that. Go ahead, throw the cage here. And this cage will actually cover both edges of the Cypher. Wire. Now, obviously, if they're smart enough, they just walk through, they just shoot the wire, but obviously it's just to disperse them, right? If I sit here and I crouch, I go on my camera, I'll stay crouched, enemies push through mid door, they see the wire, they shoot it out, right? If they're not pushed up here, right? Right, I shoot them there. And say we're not playing there, but we're playing boxes, right? Go ahead, boom, see them, activate the cage. And if you're wondering what it looks like from their side, they will not be able to really see you. Like, they won't be able to see you too well, obviously. Like, if you're walking up, you're focused on the wire, right? Boom. They won't be able to see you peeking from here, and definitely not if you're by the boxes. Boxes are going to be a big pain, right? Especially if you're in the smoke as well. That's that side, right? For B side, real quick. Actually, let's do mid, right? We'll cover every option, right? I don't remember. I think it's this door right here, Cypher, right? Say you push through, or in fact you open switch fish mouth. Yeah, bottom of fish mouth. That's about crouch height. You throw a wire there, call it a day. Throw a cage, call it a day, right? Covers the entirety of the hallway. You're fine. There's also a lineup to get a one-way, right? No, I forget the lineup. Cypher, really good Cypher that has that lineup is Gosu Peak. I follow him. Great, follow him if you want to know what Cypher lineups. If you're peeking nest, right? If you're peeking nest as defense side with Cypher, for whatever reason, I don't know why you would be holding sight. Sight is really good for Cypher. You go ahead, right? You could jump out. Throw this. They won't have enough time. You'll be able to open this, see people pushing up. You know, you'll be able to get info. Say you come out of a tunnel real quick, right? If you wanted to get out of tunnel, get info, run over here, throw tripwire there, throw cage there to even distract them long enough so you have enough time to do this. Go ahead and do this, right? Just get info, right? Or even then, you don't even have to do that. You could just, right? You could just do what we did earlier. We could just sit here. We could just sit here. Boom. You have all info mid, just like last time, right? For the B setup is really strong, right? That wire right on box, and then this one way right here. That one way right here. Let me actually just put more. If you're gonna play for B, what is this? B tunnel? Yeah, B tunnel, right? You're gonna be playing with this cam right here. This cam. Why did that take so long? B tunnel, right? You go ahead and set up this tripwire right here. And throw cages here. And then you would play right here. This is not really wall bangable. Like, you're not going to get shot here. It covers complete bases, right? And your teammate could be sitting here with an op, right? You'd peek it. You'd have cam up, right? Enemies are starting to push B main. You could just delay them, right? Delay them. And you could probably move back. And for here, say you see enemies peeking mid, right? Or they shoot the tripwire out, or they try to get in a box. Go ahead, detonate it. Right, you have a one-way. You have a nice one-way. And if you're curious how it looks on the other side, if it really is a strong one-way, it's an absolutely strong one-way. You cannot really tell where you're being shot at. The farther back, obviously, you will be. But if you're like, especially point blank, you're dead. You're just dead here. Right, and this cage actually covers both ends. So they walk through, they just boom. Further back is probably a bit better, right? Right there. Right there. That wire is fine, right? That wire maybe a little to the left and like right there. Right, that wire covers all bases. That's fine. Now, if I was gonna play for B main instead, I would just go ahead, change the camera. And then I would just play it like it is bind, right? I would play this like it's bind and you're watching B long and you have the cam over B long right above the log. You could place it higher up, right? But this actually lets you see if they're pushing up. If you don't, but there's a risk of it being shot out because it's a bit closer. So if you're really worried about it being shot out, you'd be able to place it right here. They won't be able to see the cam at all. Like if you were walking and say you were pushing in through B main, pushing in, pushing in, pushing in, don't see, don't see, don't see, don't see, don't see. Right here you'd be able to see, but if you're already right here, you're focused on tripwire. You're rushing in, you're like, oh okay, I'm in. Cypher, boom, peaks, you're dead. Right, nothing you can do about that. He can hold here with the judge, hold here with the shotgun. Right, nothing you can do about it. There's nothing. You can contest it. If he feels like you're getting too close, you start hard pushing, you get rid of his wire. Right. Just activate the cages. Watch it. You can spray it if he needs to, if he sees you in there, right? And it also allows you to see through tunnel. If the tripwire breaks and you don't see them, they're holding the hard right wall. You go ahead, mark, like if you wanted to, mark hard right wall. You'd actually wall bangable. You probably get a nice wall banging through here. Obviously, it's head height, so you'd be a little risk, but like, right? If you wanted to activate these cages, activate the one way, right? Call it a day. It's really strong. I feel like Shroud's critiques and his insight is obviously understandable, and that having someone else to trade rather than you, having someone to trade with the flank is obviously really good. But that being said, having util to give you the information that someone is flanking beforehand is even stronger, because you know that person is there versus you just holding an angle and hoping they're flanking. Because it's a very flank heavy map. Yoru is going to be really strong on this map, and I think Sentinels holding sites, right? It's not just Cypher. I showed only Cypher setups, right? I showed because he said that Cypher is not good for watching flanks and vice versa, but he didn't even mention the fact of their strength on defense, right? And this is just Cypher. We're not even talking about Killjoy and her turrets, right? Obviously, the motion sensor bot is going to be somewhat useful, and maybe the grenades not as much. Her ult is going to be great on A, maybe a little less good on B. We'll have to see, right? But Killjoy's turrets really give a lot of coverage for both attacking and defending. Sage has a lot of busted stuff here. I feel like Sentinels are just strong on this map, and that having information is almost as strong, if not stronger, than having a person watch. Like, why would I trade, right? Why would I have a body watch and potentially lose someone watching our back when I have the util give us information ahead of time, and someone can go ahead and watch our flank then, and we know for guarantee that someone's pushing up, versus someone watching flank only for no one to push behind, and they take and defuse site or defuse the bomb, etc. That's just my view. Obviously, I'm not attacking Shroud. This is my opinion versus and how I felt when he stated that Sentinels weren't needed, especially Cypher. I feel like Cypher's going to be great on this map. I feel like he's going to actually excel on this map. And that's just my opinion. You guys don't have to agree with it, but I just thought I'd put some insight as a Sentinel main. Yeah, that's all. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.